Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Paris Corner's Ministry of Oud's Oud Satin. All right, so Oud Satin is from the House of Paris Corner. It's from their Ministry of Oud line. It's an extrait de parfum concentration, and you can pick this beauty up for $30, $40 at various discounters. Links will be down in the description if you decide you want to pick this one up. Also have a couple coupon codes. Save yourself a few bucks off a variety of different discounters. Presentation on this, pretty straightforward cardboard box. It does have the Ministry of Oud Satin logo up top. Also has this kind of nice shimmery gold top half to it with these kind of Victorian patterns that are kind of shimmering in there, but overall pretty straightforward cardboard box, nothing too special. Bottle on this, very nice, thick, heavy glass bottle on this. Has this metallic plaque on the front, and the cap on this, kind of a nice little shape to it. Not your typical looking sort of cap with the Paris Corner logo on the top there. Has a little bit of weight to it, so there's a little bit of metal in there, but there is also some plastic, so a little lightweight, but it's not a cheap cap. And the atomizer on this, really nice distribution on this, goes across the room almost. So overall presentation on this, pretty nice. So if you were wondering what Paris Corner's Ministry of Oud Satin smells like, you've come to the right place. So I'm about to tell you. Some of the notes listed in this are agarwood, Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, benzoin, vanilla, and violet. So if that sounds a little familiar, you know your stuff, because this is a clone of MFK's Oud Satin Mood. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In that opening and throughout the duration of this fragrance, as the notes would suggest, this is a very rose forward fragrance. And if you've been following my channel for a little bit, you know that I'm kind of a little wary of rose fragrances. I find them to be a little bit too feminine, or they're just too grandma-ish, too potpourri style of floral, but not this one. This one has a really nice combination of that Bulgarian and that Turkish rose that has a nice sort of contrast and dance between the two. So it has this light, soft, gentle, airy style of rose with a little bit of sweetness, but it also has this kind of jammy, full-bodied style of rose that comes through as well. The benzoin kind of mixes in there, giving it a bit of a waxy feel, so I think that contributes to that kind of jammy feel to it, a little bit of that waxiness coming from that rose. But again, with that light airiness that plays with it, very elegant, luxurious style of rose fragrance that comes through with a little bit of that additional kind of vanillic sweetness from that benzoin. As this opens up a little bit more, that violet starts to move through and you really get this nice powdery texture, a little bit of additional floral accords that work its way through. Still very rose forward, but it kind of balances off a little bit with that violet and it gets that really nice soft powdery texture that kind of adds to that light, airy, elegant rose accord. As you get towards the dry down, a lot more vanilla starts to come through and it balances off that sweetness with the rose, with the sweetness from the vanilla, as well as that benzoin. And even though the oud's in this twice in its name, the oud is there, but it does sit really far behind. It is not a main player in this fragrance, so it's not like an oud rose fragrance that you're used to in a lot of Middle Eastern style fragrances. It is tucked in way behind, has this kind of sweet woody accord that goes to it, almost kind of like a light incensey style of vibe that goes on to it, but it's not a very oud forward fragrance. You'd be really searching for it when you're smelling this fragrance. This does open up very feminine with those florals, with that rosy accord, with that sweetness, but I find as this gets towards the dry down, it tilts a little bit back more towards that masculine side with that little hint of that oud that comes through. So it does balance off to what I would say is a very unisex style of fragrance. Again, rose style fragrances, I find tend to lean a little bit feminine, so the ladies will definitely enjoy this as a rose fragrance. But if you're a confident dude that enjoys a good rose fragrance, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Even me, who's a little wary of rose fragrances, I've worn this a handful of times and I do really enjoy this. I do not find this to be too feminine off my skin. I think it balances off nice with those scent accords that I could definitely pull this off. But if you're looking for like a bold, masculine, smoky, woody style of fragrance, this isn't going to do it for you. But if you like to dip and dabble into the rose fragrances, I definitely think you're going to enjoy this one, because the scent accord on this, absolutely beautiful. So when it comes to the performance of Paris Corner's Ministry of Oud Satin, this is certified beast mode off my skin. I get tremendous performance off this, like 12 plus hours of longevity off my skin, and this projects huge for the first 3-4 hours off of my skin. It's an absolute room filler rose fragrance. I'm telling you right now, you have to be careful. 2-3 sprays off skin will do you for the whole day. It's an absolute beast performer. You get some on your clothing, you're definitely gonna have to wash that shirt or whatever you're wearing a couple times probably before that comes out. Beast performance on this. I was actually really surprised with the performance on this because it's, like I said, an absolute beast. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Paris Corner's Ministry of Oud Satin would be most appropriate. I think this is a very versatile fragrance across the seasons. Cool weather, I think, is where this one does shine the best. So like a cool fall day, a mild fall, spring sort of day, this will definitely do the job. Wintertime, I do think this will push through the cold. This will push through anything, really. This is such a strong fragrance. But the wintertime, I think that would fit the vibe as well. Summer, I would say more of an evening wear style of fragrance. I think in the high heat, this is just blasting off. This would be way too aggressive in the very high heat. This would just pulsate off your skin and you'd just be blasting people with your rose. So I'd avoid the really high temperatures, but I think any other temperature, any other time of year, this will definitely do the trick for you. In terms of occasions, I also think this is a very versatile fragrance. I think you can wear this casually, but I also think it has that sensuality, this enticing nature to it, this very sensual style to it, that I think you could wear this on a date night. Again, with the dudes out there, if you're a little wary of wearing a rose style of fragrance, or if your date might not pick up on that kind of vibe, might not be your first choice, but again, if you're a strong, confident man and you want to wear a rose fragrance, this has that sweet, sexy, enticing nature to it that I think you'd probably do fairly well. Definitely for the ladies, this is a really nice rose style of fragrance you could wear on a date night. And in terms of formally, I think you can dress this up. This has that elegance, this luxurious nature to it that I think it would definitely be well suited for kind of a dress up occasion. So overall, a very versatile fragrance when it comes to seasons as well as occasions. So my overall thoughts on Paris Corner's Ministry of Oud Satin. For a rose fragrance, I really like this one. Like I've said numerous times in this video and throughout the duration of this channel, always wary about rose fragrances. Again, they come across a little bit grandma-ish, a little bit dated, a little bit old, or a little bit too feminine. But I find this one, for me personally, this is a rose fragrance I'll definitely wear. I love the contrast in those rose accords. Light, airy softness with a little bit of a full-bodied, almost jammy nature that comes through. Just the right level of sweetness that works its way in. That powdery nature from the violet, the sweet accords from the vanilla. It just works for me. It's just an absolutely beautiful, elegant, rich scent accord that comes through. Like I said, you gotta be a kind of a strong, confident man that's into wearing rose fragrances, because this does open, in my opinion, on the feminine side, but I think it gets pulled back just a bit to more that unisex line with that little hint of that auger wood that's in there, giving it that kind of incensey, light, sweet, woody vibe that goes onto it. I think it does pull back and sits on that unisex line. So I think the gentleman can definitely pull this off, but you'd have to have that swagger and like a rose fragrance if you're gonna do that. The ladies will definitely enjoy this one as well. The versatility on this is absolutely fantastic, and the performance, I can't stress how strong this one is. Like, you really have to be careful with the sprays on this one, because you are going to blast people out with rose. If you're a heavy sprayer, dial it back, because I'm just warning you right now. This is a very strong fragrance. Really happy with the performance on this, and I just overall love the scent accord. So definitely recommend, if that's something that, you know, sounds like it might be up your alley, I think you should check this one out. That's Paris Corner's Ministry of Oud Satin. And I want to hear from you guys. What's another Paris Corner fragrance that I need to get my hands on and I need to do a review from you guys? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your hidden gems, different recommendations, taste and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.